up, brothers? It's Thursday. Special news, special interviews. We have a lot in store for you today. Welcome to MSU Inside Out. We got some movie reviews from Grant, as always. We love that. We got news with Ramon and a lot of sports news and some good interviews. So we're going to kick it to Ramon, a nationally ranked runner, for some news.
Thank you, brother. Well, we got some different news stories today. The first AI and Data Summit takes place in the Minot State Student Conference Center on April 29th. Topics will focus on healthcare, artificial intelligence, and data science. The one-day summit will begin at 2 p.m. More information is available at the Minot State website. Students, faculty, and staff are invited to celebrate Earth Day by participating in a campus-wide cleanup from 11 a.m. until 1 p.m. on Monday, April 22nd. Gloves and trash bags will be available in the quad for volunteers. This is a great activity for the planet and your health. Getting outside can lower stress levels, boost your mood and energy, and increase creativity. The newest musical at Minot State University, produced by the Division of Fine and Performing Arts and Western Plains Opera Company, begins April 12th and 13th at 7 p.m. The Hunchback of Notre Dame will take place in Anna Cole Nelson Hall. Admission is free for MSU students with ID. Adults are $35 and ages 17 and under are $10. Tickets can be purchased at the Western Plains Opera website or by calling 701-660-0566. And Minot State University's Hartnett Hall finally has classes after unforeseen issues prevented it from opening. Reporters Jonathan Pierce and Jonathan Pierre share the latest.
MSU's Hartnett Hall was supposed to open its doors at the beginning of the spring 2024 semester. However, when handing the building over to the state, it wasn't up to the code and needed more work to be done to open for classes. Halfway into the spring semester, when students left for spring break, they were promised construction in Hartnett would be done. When students returned to campus, they found, to mild surprise, that classes had begun to move to Hartnett Hall, despite the building still needing work. Students and professors alike are excited about Hartnett Hall, and English professor Samuel Stinson is ready to iron out any kinks Hartnett may have.
It's a vast improvement over the earlier facility because it's been modernized. It is useful for many different groups to be able to use and meet, and it meets the needs of the department. What else can you ask for?
Professor Stinson isn't the only professor excited for the new building. Dr. Olivia Reed is hopeful Hartnett will improve the professional communications department.
Yeah, absolutely. It is gorgeous in here. I mean, selfishly, I love having a window in my office, but being able to see the podcast studio space and the other production studio space, I'm really excited for what you guys are going to be able to create.
I have been John Pereira for KMSU TV.
Well, we're really excited about the newly renovated Hartnett Hall. That's all for news today. Siri, back to you.
Thank you, Ramon. We love being in this new Hartnett Hall. It's really nice with our studio, but let's see here. Spring football is here, but we're not talking about XFL. MSU football has been keeping busy this spring season, and leading that team is head coach Ian Shields. Thank you so much for joining me today.
I appreciate you having us on. We're ready to go.
So people would like to call spring season off season, but I know as a fall athlete, you're doing more work than you usually do in the fall. So just how has the spring season been with the intensity and the culture within the team?
Yeah, it's a great question, and you're right. It's busy for all of the fall athletes. For football, there's football season, and then there's recruiting, and then there's spring football, and that's what it just never stops, and the recruiting never stops these days. But as far as the current team, we're having a great spring. We culmination this coming Saturday on our spring game, which we're all looking forward to, and it'll be pretty lively. And our last chance to kind of run into each other, for a while. Yeah. And then we'll go to summer, and there's really no summer break because I just told the team this morning we have a game in 138 days. So it's going to be here before we know it, and we can turn the page. And so we've had some great preparation with the guys this spring, developing. And spring's developmental in nature. It's technique, fundamentals, development, learning the schemes. We have some newcomers as well. Mm-hmm. Probably like soccer, you probably got a couple additions mid-year, right? Yeah. And so that's what happens in the fall sports. You get better at this time of the year. So when you're making the biggest strides, and the core of the team that's going to be playing next fall is the guys that are currently here.
Mm-hmm. And you were just mentioning the game this Saturday. The guys finally get some more serious football action. What are you hoping for the guys to get out of that, and what are you looking for while you're watching that match?
Yeah, it's as the head coach, you're conflicted a little bit because it's just your own team going against each other. So someone's winning and losing on every play, right? So that's a challenge. I just hoping for some clean execution. I mean, obviously, we're always looking for the effort light is on, and we play hard. I want us to play physical on both sides of the ball, and then eliminate what we call eliminate sin, eliminate self-inflicted negatives, just the stuff that beats yourself. And then after that, the talent will take care of itself. And then ultimately, as the head coach, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we, get out of it relatively injury-free. That's, knock on wood. We've been pretty healthy this spring. I want to get out of this thing with all of our players healthy as much as possible.
Mm-hmm. And, you just finished your first season as the head coach here. What are your overall thoughts of just how the season went and just the NSIC competition?
Yeah, I mean, it's arguably the toughest Division II conference in the country. We had 3 playoff teams this year. A year ago, there was 4 playoff teams. It's as good as it gets. It's kind of like the Big Ten of Division II football, if you will. And so it's really physical, and that's where we got to improve, I think, our physicality. And we've made strides out. We were competitive at times last year in our first year, getting the foundation and culture set. Now it's time to get over that hump, and stack a few more W's.
Mm-hmm. And just with the spring season happening, has there been any players that kind of stood out with their play or their leadership? And is that important to take that initiative as a player for the team's tempo?
It is, and I think we have some outstanding leaders, guys that played a lot of football for us here and invested a lot in this program and this university, frankly, So you look at a Jake Swarple, a Carson Psycho, an Emma Espino, and Isaiah Bigby. We have guys that are all conference type players. I'm probably leaving 5 guys out that are now going to be mad at me if they watch this. But, Carson Chrisman, I could go on, and these guys that have been really invested in great players and really good role models for the guys in the locker room that are great culture guys. And like I said, it's all about leadership, and it's hard to lead it gets hard. It's easy to lead when you're winning every week. It's harder when you have situations like last year. We had some real positive leaders emerge, and I think that will lead us to brighter days, frankly.
Mm-hmm. And you have a 24 recruiting classes. What was your overall focus when recruiting these new players for the new season?
Yeah, you're always trying to out-recruit your current roster, right? Mm-hmm. So you're always trying to add talent, and I think we did an extraordinary job. We recruited very well, and guys from all over the country, So I think on our current roster we have players from 31 states and 3 countries, right? And so we got guys from everywhere: California, Texas, Arizona, Florida, North Carolina, obviously regionally Minnesota, Wisconsin, North Dakota. We got guys from everywhere, and I think that really helps us. We have the most diverse locker room in our conference for sure, and I think that's a strength for us.
Mm-hmm. That's really fun to hear, and Thank you so much for joining me today.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Anytime.
First football game in the fall season will be August 28th.
August 28th. Thursday night.
So make sure you be there. Thank you so much to Coach Ian Shields. And we're going to kick it to a break. And when we come back, we're going to have a movie review from Grant on the movie Zone of Interest.
Thank you to all of our underwriters. Trinity Health is a comprehensive healthcare system based in Minot, North Dakota.
Fiance, with all your prom and bridal needs, located in downtown Minot.
KCJB 910 AM, Minot's news and information station.
Buffalo Wild Wings, wings, beer, sports.
KIZZ FM Z94, playing today's hit music.
Mix 99.9, Minot's music mix.
SRT, offering a number of services including phone, TV, internet, and security.
KRRZ, 1390 AM, Minot's classic hits.
KZPR 105.3 FM, Minot's rock station.
East End, where the poor is worth so much more, located in downtown Minot.
Qdoba, easy, on time, full of flavor.
Nice Impressions, no job is too big or too small, located in downtown Minot.
MSU Beavers Hockey. Online info at msubeavers.com.
Forward Communication, connecting professionals in the Midwest.
El Azteca, authentic Mexican food on North Broadway near the airport.
MSU Theater Department, year-round entertainment.
Red and Green, MSU's student-run newspaper.
MSU Bookstore, for all your campus needs.
Minot Nutrition Addiction, offering healthy smoothies and meal replacements on the go.
H-Bar-B Construction, for all your oil field needs.
Bear's Cat Donuts, located on Broadway across from Minot State campus.
Welcome back to MSU Inside Out, and as a semester tradition now, we will have a movie review. After a 10-year hiatus, Jonathan Glazer comes at us with his new film, Zone of Interest. Here is Grant Gathmann with more.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another film review. Today we're going to be talking about the new Jonathan Glazer movie, Zone of Interest. It has been 10 years since the last Jonathan Glazer film released, Under the Skin in 2013, which was easily one of the most unforgettable moments in sci-fi, horror, and experimental art house cinema that decade. And this new film has been getting quite the buzz. It won the Grand Prix at Cannes. It won the Best Foreign Film at the Oscars a couple weeks ago. For those of you who don't know the plot, it's based on a novel about a family living next to a camp in Auschwitz, Germany. The first thing I want to say about this film is that this is easily one of the most matter-of-fact and least exploitative Holocaust films I've ever seen. The horrors and the cruelty of Auschwitz are just shown on screen as normal day-to-day life. It's easily one of the most chilling and haunting experiences I've had watching a movie in really quite some time. There was an absolute pit at the bottom of my stomach by the time the film was over. Secondly, talking about the visuals, this film is absolutely phenomenal. The framing, the environments, the colors, it all is just so wonderful to look at. Another element visually is the idea to have multiple cameras running as scenes go on and then edited out with CGI. It truly makes this film a unique, one-of-a-kind experience that you're really not going to find anywhere else. And speaking on the CGI, the visual effects in this movie are absolutely stupendous. I really have no other word for it. Once again, the VFX aren't really thrown in your face or made apparent to you. In fact, they're intentionally made so that you don't notice them. I would highly, highly recommend looking up the One of Us YouTube video sort of going over the visual effects process. It's really, really insightful, and it adds this whole other element to the behind the scenes of this movie. Every single performance in this film is absolutely incredible. From the soldiers to the children, even to the dog. Everyone gives a phenomenal performance that absolutely adds to the quality of this film. The score to this film is absolutely incredible. This is one of the most unforgettable, unsettling scores I've heard for a film in really such a long time. From the very second this movie starts to the moment that it ends, this movie is engaging, it's profound, and it's truly an experience unlike anything I've really ever seen before. I've seen the movie a couple times by this point, and I genuinely hold no reservations when I say I'm going to be giving Zone of Interest a 10 out of 10. Please, please, please check out Zone of Interest. It just came out on Max. I'm sure you can rent it somewhere. Do yourself a service. See this movie. It's truly, truly an unforgettable experience that I cannot recommend enough. Thank you, Jonathan Glazer. Thank you, A24. Thank you, everyone, for watching. I'll see you next time.
Welcome back to MSU Inside Out, and I have some fun facts for you guys today. The MSU has many opportunities for students to get involved in portfolio building jobs on campus. The MSU Red and Green student newspaper is one of them, and today I have co-editor Nengi Daminabo with me here today. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for being here.
Of course, my pleasure.
So what brought you to Minot?
I would say the comm department for sure. When I came here, I actually transferred and I spoke to Christina Paxman. She's left the comm department, but she was one of the huge influences that encouraged me to come try out the comm department here, and I don't regret it.
Oh, that's awesome. I remember Christina. She was great.
Yeah.
So what's your major here?
My major is professional communications with an option in social media, and I think I have 3 more concentrations in PR and media services and broadcasting.
Wow, that's a lot. What's your favorite? Do you have a favorite?
Oh, I definitely do. I would say it's definitely the social media one because I've taken a lot of graphic design classes because of that, and also I've been able to work with Dr. Reed, so that's been pretty cool too.
Yeah, that sounds awesome. So what got you interested in the red and green?
So when I came here, I was just trying to look for where I could, just start, trying to get a job, trying to get experience in the field. And I found the red and green, and it was just super cool to meet all these amazing people, write with them, work on really cool stories, and I just continued. So I've been in the red and green since I came to Minot State.
Oh, cool. What was your, first role at the red and green?
Oh, my first role at the red and green was student writer for sure. Yeah, student writer and photographer. So I just started with the basic stuff. So, yeah.
What kind of stories did you write when you first got started?
Yes, so at that time Allison was here, and I told her I wanted to focus on world news. So I would write about actually pretty much disasters around the world, and just things that were happening just around the world that could possibly affect college students and things like that. So I liked international news for sure.
That's awesome. So what is your current role today?
My current role is co-editor of the Red and Green, and it's super cool.
Yeah. So as the co-editor, what do you do?
Well, primarily I focus on the design of the Red and Green and the format because my co-editor, Melly, focuses on editing the articles and making sure everything looks good and ready to go to print, and I focus on majorly the design aspects.
Okay. What is your favorite part about being involved in the red and green?
Oh my, it's actually reading the stories.
Yeah?
Because I get to see the stories before they go out, and it's just amazing to see what people come up with and just to see their talent show through their work. So it's been really cool to be at the forefront of that before the stories go out to the school, and definitely people should pick up the newspaper and read it because it's super amazing. Yeah.
And last question, how can students get involved in the MSU Red and Green?
I would say just ask a worker, email Katie Allers, or just come to our classes Tuesdays from, I believe it's 12:15 to 1:30. Yes, and then you can join us in the meetings and get involved and just say, hey, I want to write for the Red and Green, and we're always accepting, so definitely try it out.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Well, that was Nengi Daminabo, co-editor of the MSU Red and Green. Thank you so much for coming today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
And we will now kick it to Sav with some more sports news.
Yes, Alex, thank you for the toss. I'm actually in that class with Nengi and all the other red and green riders, and it is super fun. But getting into some Minot State sports, the Minot State golf teams return home this weekend from the Augustana Invite in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. The women's team ended the invite with 2 top 10 finishes, one being JC Jones, earning a tie for 6th place with 17 over 61. The other top 10 finish for the women's team was Holly Knudsen, who tied 10th with a score of 19 over 163. These performances would lead the team to an overall finish of 3rd. The men's team attended the same invite, where Chase Gadak would lead the team to finish 4th in the invite, shooting a 1 over 73 performance on the second day of play. The day has finally come for Beaver baseball as they finally had their opening day here in Minot at Corbett Field yesterday, facing the University of Minnesota Crookston Golden Eagles. The Beavers would have some players come up big in both games on Wednesday, the first one being Noah Mattis, who ended the day with 4 hits and 4 runs, 2 of them being home runs. The other player who came up big for the Beavers was Brent Riddle, who in Game 2 alone had 4 hits and 2 runs, 2 of them being doubles. While the Beavers had great games at the plate, they would drop both games to the Golden Eagles 9-5 and 16-15. The baseball team is back on the road this weekend in Sioux Falls. Also on Wednesday, the softball team faced Northern State on the road in a doubleheader. In Game 1, pitcher Regan Floyd would carry the team defensively as she would pitch 8 straight innings, only giving up 1 run with no walks and 4 strikeouts, leading the Beavers to their first win 3-1. In the second game, the Beavers would step up big at the plate, earning 10 runs, with Brooklyn Morrison earning 2 of them off of 3 hits, and Gabby Dwidick with 1 run off 3 hits, earning the team a sweep with a score of 10-6 in the second game. So now that the weather's a little nicer, we finally can see some baseball and softball live in action.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. Watching some MSU Sports in nice weather, no rain, no snow. It'll be nice. Well, we're going to kick it to a quick break, but be sure to come back. We still have some more sports news and weather. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to our last segment of MSU Inside Out. We're going to have some regional sports news and some weather, and we're going to kick it to Maddie for some weather. Hello, Maddie. How are you?
Hi, I'm great. Thank you, Siri. Hope you guys enjoyed a beautiful day today. We had some nice sunny weather and a light breeze. Currently, it is 53, and we're looking at a nice cool evening with the low of 29 tonight. So with warmer temperatures rising, this summer is looking to be very hot. We have an El Nino still moving in, and as North Dakotan residents know, when it's hot, sometimes fires can spark, especially in Canada. So last year, it was the worst season ever for Canada's wildfire crisis, with over 200,000 residents having to evacuate and 8 firefighters killed. Now for North Dakota residents, with the fires likely happening again much worse this summer, that means you should be looking out for air quality, making sure you're staying safe, and avoiding that smoky air. On a brighter note, we have the Papa John's 7-day forecast, and we're looking at some very warm temperatures this weekend, reaching the 70s, lots of sun. And moving into next week, we do have some lighter showers, a little bit of snow showers, nothing too serious to worry about, as the temperatures will likely rise again after that. So Siri, are you looking forward to the sunny weather, and do you have any plans?
I'm very much looking forward to this sunny weather. I'm going to rent out a bike from the Wellness Center with the MSU ID and go on a little stroll in the nice, beautiful sunny weather. I'm so excited for that. And right now, we're going to kick it to Tayden with some regional sports news.
Thank you, Siri. After 8 months of regular season action, the Minot Minotauros have reached the final weekend series of the season against the Bismarck Bobcats. It has been a record-setting season for the Cream and Cardinal, including the most wins and points for a season. They're also in position to finish with the fewest goals allowed in a season as a team. The Turtles are also in position to finish second overall in the North American Hockey League, behind the North Star Brahmas. After locking up the Central Division title with a sweep over Bismarck last weekend, the Turtles have secured home ice advantage through the first 2 rounds of the playoffs. The Bobcats will host tomorrow night with a 7:15 puck drop from the VFW Sports Center in Bismarck, with the Toros hosting Saturday at the Mesa Arena with puck drop at 7:35. Other games in the Central include a home-and-home series between the St. Cloud Norsemen and Austin Bruins, and Aberdeen in Iowa versus North Iowa in Mason City. The Minot North High School Sentinels picked up their first varsity win in school history on the softball diamond last Friday, defeating the Grand Forks Central Knights 13-8. It didn't come easy for the Sentinels, as after 5.5 innings, they found themselves down 8-3. The Bats would come alive in the bottom of the 5th inning, tallying 7 runs and adding 3 more in the 6th. Junior Cadence Shipman and sophomore Avon Kelly scored 3 runs for the Sentinels. Sophomore Tyson Hertz notched 2 doubles in the win with 2 runs. Sophomore Kinsey Wellstead stole 3 bases and scored 2 runs as well. Sentinels would drop the second game of their doubleheader versus the Knights 14-13. Building off first win momentum, Minot North notched 5 runs in the first and second innings combined to lead 10-4 after 3. Grand Forks Central added 8 in the third to fuel their victory. And the NBA regular season has also entering their final weekend of the regular season, and the Minnesota Timberwolves are in the mix for the top spot in the Western Conference. Currently, the Wolves are tied with the Oklahoma City Thunder for second in the conference, 1 game behind the defending champion Denver Nuggets. The Wolves fell to the Nuggets last night, 116-107, with the LA Clippers being in 4th place, 4 games back, Dallas sitting in 5th, 6 games back, and New Orleans holding the final guaranteed playoff spot, 8 games behind Denver. Tomorrow night, the Wolves face the Atlanta Hawks, while the Nuggets face San Antonio, and the Thunder face the Milwaukee Bucks. The NBA's play-in tournament to determine their final 2 playoff spots in both the West and East Conference began April 16th, with the full playoffs beginning April 20th. Siri, Alex, we're getting down to the exciting time of the year, as I like to call it, one of the first 2 exciting times of the year, where spring sports are fueling up, winter sports winding down, but it's always fun times.
Oh yeah, lots of sports to watch, obviously fun for all of us sports fans. We're going to take a quick promo break, but be sure to come back. Siri and I will have a nice little wrap-up for you all.
Public speaking is what I want to do with my life. I want to be able to influence others. Being in this class, I've made friends that I hang out with all the time and really good people. The professors are all so willing to help me with anything, and I'm really loving it. I have so many opportunities. I love being here, and I truthfully can't wait to see what this 4 years holds. If I could do anything to change a life, that would just be absolutely amazing.
What's great about my communications major is that it literally teaches you to communicate with people. I love the idea of event planning. I also like the idea of opening up my own business. The experience has been really good. Our department is really small, but you build connections with people. I thought that I was an introvert when I went into it. The farther it got along, I'm becoming more extroverted, so I forced myself to come out of my bubble, which has been good.
Welcome back to MSU Inside Out. Siri and I are going to wrap up the show for you here. We had lots of sports news as usual, Grant's movie review, some weather, and also our 2 interviews. You interviewed the MSU football head coach.
Yeah, Ian Shield. That was really fun. I'm busy during the fall, so it was nice to catch up with another fall sport person since I'm in soccer, but hearing about football and what's going on and see how they can grow. But you talked to Nengi with the red and green, and you're also involved, so how was it?
It was nice. I knew that she was the co-editor, but hearing about how she came here and how she got involved, it was really fun to chat with her about that, and obviously tell you guys about the MSU Red and Green. So thank you so much for tuning in, guys. Be sure to tune in next Thursday for more sports news, more MSU news, weather, and more.